When you get all 6 principles of this system working together, this is what can happen. What you're seeing right here is over a 90-day window, this store has done $3.4 million, meaning that it makes over $1 million per month. Before we get too far into the actual training, I want to actually just establish who this is for so you're not wasting your time being here and going, wait a minute, I'm a half hour in and this isn't mine. Okay, I want to make sure you're where you want to be. This training is for people with established Shopify stores that are currently selling physical products and are suffering from inconsistent income and or not enough profit. So if you want to improve your Shopify store's performance and maximize your income, then you are in the right place. This training is for you. If you sell on other platforms, you could still get some good stuff out of this training, but this is specifically for people who have Shopify stores, and it's going to be most applicable to people who have Shopify stores. We're going to go over the 6 principles that form the foundation of every 7- and 8-figure Shopify store that we've built, partnered, or consulted on ever. It's always these same 6 principles. And I'm going to give you real-world examples from successful Shopify stores showing each principle in action. So you're not only going to learn them, but you're going to see how they apply in a real store. And also a complete breakdown of what is making each one of these core areas work so well. So you not only have learned it, you not only understand how to do it, but you also get why it works and why it's so important. Okay, you're going to get the full picture in this training. Now let's take a second so that before I get into this training stuff and you're like, wait a minute, that won't work. I want you to know who I am and why you should even be listening to me, okay? My name is Tanner Larson, first of all, but I'm the founder of Build, Grow, Scale, and I've been doing e-commerce since 2001 with over $100 million in e-commerce sales results from my systems, okay? I'm also the author of the book Ecommerce Evolved, which has become recently known as the Bible of modern day e-commerce. And we've helped dozens of businesses grow past the 7-figure mark, some even to the 8-figure mark. I specialize in helping companies build, grow, and scale highly profitable and sustainable e-commerce businesses, which is why I'm giving this training to you tonight. I'm showing you what we do. Now, I've worked with all types of people and businesses, from teenagers just starting out to retirees looking to supplement their income, all the way to Fortune 500 companies. The stuff that I'm about to teach you today has worked in every market imaginable all over the world. With that, I want to jump into some myth busting. Now that you know who I am and that, hey, maybe I understand what I'm talking about, maybe I know a thing or two, I want to jump into a few myths that are, keeping your Shopify store ineffective, okay? So as I'm going through these myths, I'd love it if you just chime in and go, oh, that's me, I suffer from that, or I thought that, or, just let me know if these are hitting close to home, okay? So myth number 1, e-commerce stores are designed to make sales, all right? This is what they want you to believe. Shopify wants you to believe that their e-commerce stores are designed to make you sales. The reality, though, is that e-commerce stores were first designed as online catalogs from the retail guys saying, hey, how do I get all my products from my store onto the internet? Oh, let's create a catalog, right? And they're designed to display large quantities of products online. Sales were a secondary concern. Okay, that's it. Sales were a secondary concern. It was not designed to make sales. It was designed to display products and get them online. All right, so that's myth number 1 that bites a lot of people. Myth number 2 is that Shopify store themes are optimized for conversions. Okay, now this is a tough one because Shopify has tons of themes, right? And they're gonna oh, our theme is this, it'll help you make sales. And then there's themes out there that people are selling you that are like, hey, this theme is optimized, it's responsive, it does this, it will make you more money, right? But the reality is that's not the case, okay? Shopify themes are created by graphic designers and programmers, not conversion experts. They are created first to conform to vendor usability requirements, and that means they are built to conform to what Shopify requires the themes to function like in order to work on their platform. And second, they're designed to look attractive because looks are what sell a theme to you, okay? Looks and crazy feature sets. Now, myth number 3 is that you need to use all of the features and options that your Shopify theme gives you in order to make your store work and make it convert and get it to really crank out, right? That's the myth, and people believe it, okay? I see it all the time. They're using all these whiz-bang things that make their site look so cool, like slide-in shopping carts from the side or pop-up shopping carts or all these whiz-bang things that, oh, my theme does it, that must mean it's going to help me. No, Actually, it's the opposite. The reality is many of the options and features look cool or look like they help, but they actually cause distractions and reduce conversions, okay? How many of you guys have, fallen into any of these traps, right? Any of you guys think some of these myths were like, "Oh, I didn't know that," right? Me, totally, right? Yeah, it's just the way it is, right? But these are the myths that are being propagated and being spread out there. But the reality is quite different, okay? And I wanted to clear those up so that as we jump into these 6 principles and the 6 foundational aspects of optimization, you'll understand why we do the things that we do, because we've gone ahead and, busted and dispelled all those myths, all right? So let's jump into now the 6 foundational principles of a high converting Shopify store. All right, we've established the myths. We've busted and debunked the myths. Now let's get into what actually works to really make a store kick ass, okay? So there are 6 principles, and they each affect a different aspect of your site. Number 1, down here at the bottom, is your store structure, okay? Number 2 is your product pages. Number 3 is your mobile usage. Number 4 is your checkout and your cart and checkout process. Number 5 is your store's performance. And number 6 is your recovery. Okay, and these are the core areas of your site that all need to be optimized. When they're done correctly, they form the foundation of your business and they make it work really, really well. Just like I, cutely made these 6 things in the shape of a house, right? If I take any one of these areas out, it's not a house anymore, and it's more than likely going to start falling apart, right? So if I took out number 3, the whole thing crumbles. If I take out number 4, it crumbles again, right? These are the ways that you have to be good about optimizing. These are the areas, that you have to be good about optimizing. And all of these 6 principles form the foundation on which your site is built. So moving into principle number 1. Principle number 1 states that store structure must be streamlined to eliminate customer confusion and to clearly indicate the actions that you want them to take in order to maximize revenue. Okay, that's the principle. So let's talk about it, okay? What you see right here is Organifi. This is one of the sites that we control, okay? We don't own Organifi. My buddy Drew owns it, but we're the optimization guys, and we're partners in helping grow this site, okay? So what you're seeing here is what their homepage used to look like. So I'm going to start taking you through some of the reasons, site structure options that have to be, dialed in order to make things work, okay? So first off, we have the 4 less is more rules of store structure, okay? Now, as I talk about these, I want you to refer to that picture over there on the right and see what you see there and see like, oh, that's breaking the rule, that's breaking the rule, and so on, right? So rule number 1, above the fold is gold. Okay, that means that you want whatever is visible above the fold on your homepage or on any aspect of your site to be your most valuable real estate and utilize effectively in order to increase conversions and sales. The problem is most people's above the fold on a store is wasted by giant headers, big sliders, graphical images, and just gibberish, okay? They're not optimizing that above the fold on any of their pages, and especially not on their homepage. So above the fold is gold. That's rule number 1. Rule number 3 is 3 clicks to cart, meaning that no matter where they are on your website, it should take them no more than 3 clicks to get into the shopping cart with a product, okay? The problem is most people use this generic site structure and creativity structure using the collections where a customer may click 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and then they finally get to the cart, okay? Anything over 3 clicks is almost a 10% drop every additional click in your conversion, okay? So just basically every additional click, look at it as like throwing $1,000 in the trash every day for every extra click. Seriously big deal. Number 3, rule number 3 is that 6 or less of the best, okay? What I mean by this is that if you have a lot of products, that doesn't mean you should show them all your products, okay? Just because you have a lot of products does not mean that you should show them, okay? Human beings are complicated. we're also really screwed up, right? So here's the deal. We as humans like to pretend that we love having choices, okay? We love our choices, right? The reality is that the more choices you give a customer, the more indecision and confusion you cause, okay? It's called the paradox of choice. So here's an example. You want ice cream, and I say, cool, we've got vanilla or chocolate. You can make that decision very easily. But we go into Baskin-Robbins, and there's 31 flavors to choose from. All of a sudden, you've got a little bit of indecision. You're like, no, I don't want that one. Oh, that one looks, oh man, I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I just don't want ice cream, right? Can you guys relate to that? This is why you want less, okay? 6 or less of the best means that on any particular page, like a home page or a related items page, you want to showcase 6 or less of your products. Ideally, we use 4, but 6 is about the max number, 2 rows of 3, okay? And then the next thing is the use it or lose it rule, okay? Which is, if it doesn't actively help you sell, get rid of it, okay? There is all kinds of, people put all this crap on their pages. They put these dumb icons, these links to social profiles. They put random text or random images or, ooh, that looks pretty. Let's put that, image of this lady staring off into the distance wearing a pair of sunglasses. That's pretty. That's a fashion site. Let's throw it on there. If it doesn't work or it doesn't help sell, get rid of it. Okay, you need to make your stores streamlined so that they increase sales. If you want to make pretty pictures, go paint a picture, go make some art, go take a picture. Keep it away from your store. Let's make your store convert. Okay, you guys with me on these so far? How many of you guys are violating one of these less is more rules? Me, Josh says. Yep. Oh crap. Yep. Anthony says, F, all of them, right? Okay, no worries. These are just the beginning, okay? But this is every one of these 4 rules, what you see right here on Organifi's old homepage, they were breaking all of these rules, okay? And their conversions were suffering dramatically as a result, okay? Now, Organifi does $25-ish million a year through their sales funnels on ClickBank, but their Shopify store was barely doing $2 million. And that's being super generous in the fact that they just had super loyal customers that were buying despite the problematic areas of their site. Okay, after what I'm about to show you, they're currently doing $8 million a year off that store, okay, in a 90-day fix, just from what I'm going to show you. So here's an example. This is Organifi's homepage. Before, above the fold, you see it was just a ginormous banner image with nothing. Basically nothing people would take action on, right? Small header or a bigger header, but small text. Just a kind of a pain. Now after, we still couldn't get them to get rid of their banner because they were launching their new protein, and they were like, we really, really want this protein on here because we actually are going to reformulate, so we want to sell out of this formulation until we reformulate. So we did manage to get them to shrink it, but we couldn't ever get them to actually get rid of it. Sometimes we lose, right? But by what they've done right here, they have bigger icons above the fold, all 4 of their core products. Now they have one more product than this now, but at the time, these are the 4 they had. So the other thing is most people would have those products that you see under the banner image, they would have those go to the category page. No, we sent those to the 80-20 of their best-selling products. So in green juice, instead of going to the green juice category, it would go to whatever most customers buy. So the green juice, which happens to be 1 serving of the green juice or 1 month supply. So we send them straight there to the checkout. Same thing with the protein and the turmeric and the probiotic. Then if they say, oh, I don't want a single serving, they can see the related products below, and then they can dig deeper to find what they actually want. But the chances are 80% of the people are going to buy that product, so we send them right to where most people are going to buy. The only way to get to a category page is by clicking one of those top header links, all right? So what we did, just to go through it again, we changed the top navigation links that takes you to the category pages. The banner was a bad idea. We advised against it, but I still want to show you that it still worked because we were able to compress it, okay? The product images take you straight to the product page for the most purchased variation. We moved all the miscellaneous links into the footer that are all hidden below the fold and they're out of the way. Okay? This made a huge improvement right off the bat. Results, 84% increase in sales from the exact same traffic. And last month, Facebook ads went wonky because their protein that they were advertising has hemp seeds in it. And Facebook said, hey, you can't advertise products that have hemp seeds in it. Hence the reason for the reformulation. So they lost about 30% of their traffic, but they still made more money from the store than the previous month, even with 30% less traffic. Okay? This is the power of optimizing a store. Does this make sense, guys? Now we're on principle number 2. Product pages must be designed in a way that maximizes add to carts while at the same time answering customer questions and overcoming objections. Okay? Our goal with the product page is only to get the product added to cart so they will buy. All right? But in order to get the add to cart, we have to overcome objections and make sure customers are confident, right? So, there's 7 key elements of an effective product page. Okay? And what you see here is a terrible product page, all right? And what you see here is typically the conversion results you get from a store that looks like this. And before you judge this page, chances are 90% of you guys have pages that are similar, okay? So even though I'm saying this is a bad one, he's not alone. This is what we see by and large more often than not, especially in those people using the AliExpress and dropship model, okay? So, tangible photos and or videos. Okay, these are key. Why? Because these are physical products that people want to buy. They're buying them online so they can't touch them. So the next best thing is to get the product as real in the photo and as possible so they can make the decision, okay, I feel comfortable buying this online without being able to touch it. Okay? This product does not have tangible photos. This is a foldable survival emergency or garden shovel saw. Whatever the heck that is. So a terrible title also. But I don't know if this guy is, I don't know what he's doing. He's got like a, I'm trying to be sexy look on his face, but he's also going to punch me. And then he's got this shovel thingy sticking out. I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay. But it doesn't make me want to buy the product, right? Especially since I don't know if it's a garden shovel or it's a survival saw or a foldable saw shovel garden thing, right? Informative description. Okay. You need to put yourself in the shoes of a customer, okay? If you are buying something, okay, here's the example. How many of you guys have ever gone to Amazon, you saw a product that you thought you were going to buy, and then you're like, oh, I've got a question, or I just need to know, so I scroll down to the product description, and there's nothing there, or it just says made in China, or made in the USA, but no description. And so you don't buy the product because there's not enough information. That's the same with your Shopify store, guys. Copying and pasting what's on AliExpress is not a description, okay? You need to tell the customer enough information and details about the product that they can make a comfortable, informed decision in order to buy it. So example, a very handy folding spade or shovel with a saw and pick for all sorts of digging. Okay, great to have in the trunk of the car when the snow season is about or just to have in an emergency. Weighing only 1 pound, it's easy to carry when on hiking in the caravan or general use around the home garden. I don't know what I just read, but it doesn't tell me enough about the product. And this site is a gardening site. So why are we even talking about car caravans, trunk of your car, survival emergency? We should be talking specifically about its functions as a garden shovel, right? And there's no mention of how big it is, the size. It says it's the weight of it, but it doesn't tell you anything else, okay? So it's a fail right there, right? You need detailed specifications. Height, width, weight, all that stuff. You need to know those things. Color, batteries, all the things that people need to know in order to buy your product, you should spell out in a very easy to, utilize format. Should also have a strong call to action, telling the customer what you want them to do. This is about the only thing they almost got right with please click the add to cart button now as supplies may have limited stock. That's almost good, right? But that's about the only thing they got right on this page. And then they also need social proof and or reviews, okay? You need something when it comes to products, people have a herd mentality. You may have a girlfriend, or you may be a girl, and you hate wearing the same dress as somebody else when you're at a party. You don't like looking like anybody else. Okay, guys, we all feel comfortable if we're all wearing a tux, right? Or we're all wearing t-shirts or whatever. As long as we all look the same, we're happy. But when it comes to products, buying things, nobody wants to be the pioneer. We want to go and buy a product that somebody else has already proven and validated and lets them know that, hey, this is a good product and I want it. Okay. We want to follow the masses. We don't want to blaze a trail. Social proof and reviews eliminate that need for us. Okay. And they alleviate that feeling of, is this going to work? Do I have to blaze a trail? No. Look at all the people who are already using it. And then you need your KLT enhancers. KLT stands for know, like, and trust. Okay. This site does not make me trust them. You need to make your people know, like, and trust you and make them feel comfortable so that they would want to enter their credit card and purchase from you. Okay. And then ideally you need some kind of free shipping offer somewhere on your site. Okay. Now I have an asterisk there because I don't mean offer free shipping for the sake of free shipping. I mean, because we are preconditioned socially because of Amazon Prime that free shipping is the norm. But that also doesn't mean that we feel like we have to take the free shipping option. We just want to know that free shipping is available. It's a subconscious thing that we're kind of socially conditioned for. So you could have your regular shipping, is $5, but they can get free shipping if they spend $50. Just the fact that you have a free shipping offer on there is a social trust factor and a social proof factor that we're conditioned to notice without even paying attention to it. So simply by having that offer on there, number one, it could make people spend more money with you. But number two, it also acts as a trust indicator and allows people to be comfortable buying and paying for shipping because they're like, oh yeah, I don't want to spend $50 to get free shipping, so I'll just pay the shipping here. It helps them justify it. So this is the 7 elements that you must have. Okay? We showed you some examples of what not to do. Now I'm going to show you how we boosted skate laces from their add to cart from 3.11 to 14.29%. Okay, so now what I'm showing you here is a very simple and still very ugly by our standards product page. However, it worked really well. We went from 3.11 to 14.29. So even as simplified as it is right now, it still works very, very well. So I didn't show you the balls to the wall, most amazing example because I wanted to show you that, hey, it doesn't have to be that crazy to still have a massive increase, okay? So what we did on this page is number one, we added customer testimonials further down the page, okay? Just images of the testimonials. We added customer pictures and social proof collage, okay? So those are down below the fold. We added a free shipping offer. It's like, hey, if you buy one, you pay shipping. If you buy 2 and you buy a bundle, then we'll pay shipping. Okay. We also moved the buy button above the fold. And then we also noticed that people were having a lot of confusion on the product because it's kind of a new product. It replaces your shoelaces. So what we did was we added a product video right up above the description, above everything next to the picture so that people could see it. Okay. And as soon as we did that, conversions went up. Something else we did, which is not on this screenshot, we just recently did it, was we got rid of that write a review button. Okay, we still have customer reviews and they can see them, but what happens is if they have to click that if they want to see a write a review button. Okay, so instead of having that review button there, it moves everything else up further. Okay, so simply by doing these basic things, and this is nothing fancy, this is no custom coding or anything like that. We just did some smart movements to the page. And boom, we went from 3.11% add to cart to 14.29%. Okay, and as you can see, they reached checkout and a good percentage of them purchased, a 6.49% conversion rate. Okay, so it doesn't take a lot. It just takes you being smart about how you do things, right? And being strategic about what you're doing on the page. Okay, so that's product pages. Principle number 3 is the store must be coded to be specifically mobile or optimized for mobile traffic needs. Okay, meaning optimized, not just responsive. Okay, including your layout, your function, and for conversions. Okay, So the store must be coded to be specifically optimized for mobile traffic needs, including layout, function, and conversion. This is a tough one because most people think that because they buy a theme that says responsive, that now they're mobile optimized, and those are not the same thing. So why mobile though? Really? I just want to drive this home because it's that critical. Mobile e-commerce is growing at 42% per year. Traditional e-commerce is only growing at 14% a year. Okay, it's still growing fast, but mobile is blowing it away. Mobile now accounts for 50.3% of all e-commerce traffic. Okay, that means it's half of all e-com traffic. 80% of Facebook buyer traffic is from mobile users. This is one that is critical for you guys because 99% of you are buying your traffic on Facebook. Mobile buyer average order value grew globally to $110.80. Now, desktop is only $148. Now, desktop is still more, right? It's still $148. But what we're showing is that people used to say, oh, mobile buyers are cheap buyers. They're not willing to spend big money on the phone. Well, what we're showing here is that's not the case anymore. Mobile buyer traffic or average order value has almost reached and equaled desktop traffic. So yes, people will spend money on their phones now. So some key store elements to your mobile site, okay? Now what I'm showing you right here is the Kong company website on mobile. Kong makes all those indestructible dog chew toys, right? Which they're not really indestructible because my pit bull can rip them apart in like 12 seconds and he's an old dog. So, but they're still good toys, right? But that is what their site looks like on mobile. Looks great, doesn't it? Everything is huge. It doesn't scale. You have to go left and right. It's just not designed for mobile, okay? And this is a multi-million-dollar company, right? Kong is a big company, but their stuff looks like crap on mobile. Nobody's going to buy anything from Kong on mobile, right? Now, the entire store needs to be optimized for mobile usability. Hence the Kong site, which is terrible for usability. Everything you click on loads into a massive window. You got to try to scroll it, scale it, turn it, left it, all kinds of stuff, right? It just doesn't work. There should be no side-to-side scrolling, okay? A mobile site should be just up and down on your phone. There should be no left and right. If you even have to move it a little bit left and right, your site is not mobile optimized, okay? It needs to be just vertical. So no matter what they do, even if they swipe it with a slashy motion, it's still going to go up and down, okay? Everything must be stacked perfectly vertically. You need to simplify the mobile layout and remove complex functions. There's some really cool stuff you can do on a desktop browser that does not convert well to mobile. Really cool calculations, really cool animations, all kinds of cool stuff. It doesn't translate well to mobile. And actually, it can have the reverse effect on mobile, okay? So you want to simplify that. You also want to reduce or remove site headers because the bigger the site header is, it pushes things down on the screen. And again, you're killing your most valuable real estate by having a ginormous header. So it's important to reduce that. You also need to streamline the entire customer journey from browse to buy, okay? Not just the conversions, not just the checkout page, not just the cart, the entire customer journey. Okay. And you need a mobile specific checkout. All right. Typing things into the fields on mobile is a serious pain in the butt. You've all done it. It's not fun. So you need a mobile specific checkout to simplify the process and make it better for people. Okay. So here's an example. Right Channel Radio. This used to be owned by Andrew Udarian. He actually just sold it not too long ago. But this is their old site. Okay. And they redesigned their site, but what they found was with this old site, 44% of their traffic at this time was already mobile, okay? But their mobile conversion was 80% lower than their desktop conversion. So almost half their traffic was coming from a mobile source, and their conversions were 80% lower on that traffic source. That's not good, right? That's bad. And this is what their site looked like on mobile. This is a mobile responsive site, meaning it scales down to fit the mobile screen. It is not optimized, okay? Ginormous header, font and images that you can't even read anymore. It was just crazy busy, right? Now after, they still have a pretty big header, but they put the big free shipping up there, very easy to read, giant search boxes and buttons so that you can click and make it really easy to use. Okay? Does that make sense? Can you see the big shift in having a mobile-friendly site? Now, here's what their site looked like before with mobile, okay? By adapting these changes that I'm showing you, their cart before was a traditional cart that was just responsive, meaning it just scrolled down, but it was still a regular cart. Okay, small fields, everything got hard to read. You would have to expand and scale left and right. That was what it looked like before. Now it looks like what you see over here on the right. Their header, scaled down picture, and then you can see the buttons, customer information, where they can type. It's all bigger and easier. By doing that, they increased their mobile conversions by 110%. Okay? And they also increased their tablet conversions by 24%. Can you guys see the importance of mobile now and what the difference between a mobile responsive site and a mobile optimized site looks like, right? Now, principle number 4. The biggest wins in improving a Shopify store's earnings are made in the cart and checkout optimization. Okay, that's where the biggest wins are. All right, so optimizing your Shopify checkout. The problems with this. In Shopify, you can't actually optimize the checkout. They protect that. All you can optimize is the customer information page that leads into the checkout, and you can optimize the cart. But you can't really do much more than that, okay? The other problem is that the normal stock Shopify cart is a conversion killer, okay? It sucks at conversions. It causes massive abandonment. It doesn't do anything right except hold the product, all right? And the other thing is it causes massive abandonment due to design over conversion. And an example of that is what you see right here. This is a very, very popular theme. Okay, this is one of the top Shopify themes out there that people are using. And this, what you can see here is an example of a side slide-in cart, right? It slides in from the side. These things look cool, but they actually do absolutely destroy your conversions. They hurt conversions. Get rid of a slide-in cart if you had it. This is a perfect example of design over conversions, all right? So some basic optimizations that we can do. Number 1, you can't optimize the checkout, but you can style the checkout. So you can adjust the fonts, the colors, and all that stuff to make it match your site. It doesn't do that naturally, okay? It doesn't automatically. You need to make it styled to fit your site. Everything you can do, you should do when it comes to your cart, okay? You also want to ditch the side slide cart. Go back to a traditional cart. Remove the create account step from the checkout page, okay? So a lot of people think, hey, I want to get the customer information, so I'm going to make them create an account when they check out. All right? No. All right, here's why. It's proven 14% of your customers will abandon the checkout because they don't want to have to create an account first, okay? I am exactly that customer. Why? Think about it. I want to give you money, all right? I'm trying to buy. I'm on mobile. I hate putting in my payment details. It's such a pain. I literally just want to give you money and get my product, right? So when you ask me to create an account and a password and fill out all these stupid fields before I even get to put in my shipping address or my details, I'll just leave, okay? But guess what? If you get me to create my order, I just fill out my order, and then at the end of the order, you say, hey, would you like to create a password now and create an account? Now you already have all the information, so I only have to take 1 or 2 extra steps. I'm totally willing to do it at that point because it's convenient then, but not at the beginning. So you can get an immediate boost of 14% in your checkout by getting rid of the create account step, all right? The next thing is to create a dedicated mobile cart and checkout process, which is what I'm going to talk about more in just a second. So, Cole and Coddle, I'm going to give you an example of how we optimized this site, okay? So, they had a good product page, okay? These were their stats before we worked on them, okay? They had a great product page. They were getting a 16% add to cart rate, okay? So, the product page was working. They're getting lots of add to carts. However, they had a stock premium theme like the one I just showed you. Actually, it was the exact theme I just showed you. And that equaled a terrible reached checkout percentage. And if you look at this, it's awful. They had 16% put it in the cart. But of that 16%, only 2%, 2.5% actually reached checkout. And then from there, only 1.9% purchased, which for most people would be a very good conversion rate, okay? But we knew we could do better. And we saw the biggest problem was, hey, if we could just double the amount of people who reached checkout, we'd also double the amount of people that were buying, right? So we needed to fix that. And the biggest thing they had going was their cart and checkout was terrible. It was stock, okay? So what I want to show you here is the before. Okay, you see the same stats at the bottom, 16.61, 2.58, and 1.9. I also want to draw your attention to the date. It's this year, May 1st to May 15th. They did 20,000 visits, 391 orders, and $14.6 thousand in sales. Okay, this is important. Okay, so you see this first 15 days, 14 grand. This is where we did the styling. We shrunk the images down. We made the header small, and we made it so that all the product images showed up in the cart. So you could put 3 products in the cart and have it all show. Okay. So what you see here is on the left mobile image. So the one right here, this is the top of the thing. With one scroll, it puts you to the checkout button, okay? But all the stuff you can add, you can delete, you can do anything you want right there, okay? And that's on mobile. On the regular desktop, everything was above, everything was styled to look right, and it was all condensed so that it all fit above the fold, okay? Then we move into the cart and the checkout. Okay, so we went from the cart to the checkout. Now, this is the only page of the checkout we can optimize, all right? So they had a stock slide-in cart. They had all the things that we said were bad. So what we did here was we optimized it. We added a PayPal button up top because PayPal is one of the easiest ways to check out on mobile, and a lot of people opt for it on mobile. So you want that prominent up front. We also added some trust badges. We streamlined the customer pages. We got rid of the account ask for section, and we also added a countdown timer into the thing saying, hey, your order's been reserved for the next 6 minutes before it gets put back into stock. Okay, and that's what it looks like on desktop. Move over to the next image in the middle. That's the first above the fold on a mobile device, on like a iPhone 6 Plus, right? That's the size. So shrunken header, you see the order summary, PayPal button, order reserved, trust icons, the email, and then you scroll. And if you see emails right here, a shipping address, and then if you scroll, one scroll, and you get to the continue. So everything is easy. They're bigger fields, and it's simple to optimize, okay, or to utilize, okay? Can you guys see how simplified these checkout processes are and why they're increasing our conversions? Okay. So now let's look at some results, okay? Over here on the right, or the left, excuse me, is where they started. Remember, 16% add to cart. 14,391 orders in the first 15 days of May. So we started working on this site pretty much right around I think it was around the 15th or 14th. I'll show you a graph on the next page that'll show you. Okay. After the cart fix, the next 3 days, we fixed the cart and the checkout page. 3 days later, they got 7,000 visitors. They did 17,000 in sales, and they actually did 395, so they made 4 more sales. A 3-day window, they did 395 sales. On a 15-day window, they did 391, okay? So basically what we did was we increased the visitor value from 71 cents per visitor to $2.29 per visitor, okay? Over a 3-day period, simply by adjusting the cart. No other changes, no additional ad spend. We just fixed the cart and the checkout, okay? Or the customer information page of the checkout. This is why it's so important to optimize. This right here, guys, will take a loot. Even if you suck at Facebook ads and you couldn't get them to work before, if your visitor value, quadruples, all of a sudden your Facebook ads become profitable, okay? Just because your store converts better. Principle number 5, For optimal conversions, your site load time must be 2 seconds or less. This blew my mind when I first learned this, okay? But it's critical. For optimal conversions, your site load time must be 2 seconds or less. We're talking about bounce rate here, okay? So your site store load speed is affected by a number of different factors, but even more than what causes it, it affects some serious things in your business and in your customer's mind. So the load time affects your know, like, and trust, okay? If you have a store that loads really slowly, people don't like that. It's almost like, ooh, what's wrong with you? You're not even up to date. You're so far behind, it just gives you that feeling of like they're not as trustworthy, right? Because they must be, antiquated, right? Nobody wants to be antiquated. Load time affects bounce rate. We don't like to wait, right? So if we're sitting there on a mobile device, how many of you guys have ever been on, your mobile internet and you're on your data plan, you try to load a website and it doesn't load in 2.2 seconds and you flip out and you give up, right? You get super angry at your phone, which is able to connect you to the internet, which is magical, by the way, but you're pissed off because it's taking 5 seconds to load Huffington Post, right? Or to load eBay. Right? Josh says, that's me. Yeah, no, there's something wrong with us, guys. Humans are weird, right? But anyway, it also affects conversion rate, okay? Because the slower your site is, the harder it is for people to complete the checkout process because it times out, it lags, and people just don't like that. It also affects your search engine rankings. Google announced that it actually penalizes sites that have a low site load speed, or a high site load speed score, okay? So if your site loads slow, you have a high site load score, and it's not good, right? It actually penalizes your rankings. And then mobile traffic obviously doesn't do well, like we just discussed. Now, here's the crazy thing, because those are stats, people don't care, or descriptions, right? People want stats. So a 1 second delay in load time can result in the following losses to your business. 1 second load time, a 16% loss in customer satisfaction by adding 1 extra second, an 11% loss in page views, again, from a 1 second load increase, a 7% loss in conversions. Now let's put that into real dollar amounts that really flip you out, okay? If a store is making $10,000 per day in sales and its site load time increased from 2 to 3 seconds, okay, so it increased by 1 second, it got 1 second slower, it could lose upwards of $255,000 over the course of a year, all from a 1 second increase in your site load time. Amazon, because these guys test everything, they report that for every 1 second of speed improvement on their store, they see conversions increase by 2%. Okay, now Amazon is so fast already, they are only getting marginal increases now, but you can bet your ass they are still working all the time at eking out more and more and more speed from their store and site because they know it's going to make a big increase in their bottom line. This is why your site load speed is so important and why your site has to be optimized for performance. So what I'm going to show you, though, real easily is how we reduced Kitchen Bright's load time from 16.02 seconds to 1.87 seconds. Okay? Now, we were using a mainstream theme that said it had fast load times and it said it was optimized and it said all the things that we all believe about the themes that we buy or we use. Okay? But we had a 16-second load time. So what we did was we optimized all the images, okay? So an image needs to be compressed and optimized for web, but that doesn't even compress them enough. Most images are not really compressed as small as they should be. Images, the bigger they are, the slower they slow down your load time. And the more images on your site, with all of them adding up, can really dramatically slow down your load time. So the best thing you can do is optimize those images. And there's sites out there that can do it, imageoptimizer.net. You can buy their tool. Don't use the free tool, though, because it'll watermark all your images. But there's tons of sites out there that can really compress all your images down to their very smallest file size. Okay, that's the first thing we did. Okay, then we removed all the old apps. Okay, here's something we didn't know. We thought for the longest time that as long as you disabled an app, that it was done, right? But the reality is, if that app is still in your Shopify store app section, even though it's disabled, it's still kind of running some aspect in the background every time your sites load, okay? And every call, which is what the servers do, they make calls back to the server every time they try to load a page from all the code that's in the page. Every call that an app requires slows down your load time. So we found, we had 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, sometimes 10 different apps that we had tested and then didn't use anymore. So that we just turned them off. But that we're still dragging our site down. So we deleted those apps that we weren't using anymore. Boom, increased our site speed. And then the other thing we did was we actually compressed and streamlined the site code. Most themes and site code out there, most websites, have a bunch of extraneous and gibberish code. It's not streamlined, it's bloated, okay? So by compressing, streamlining, fixing, and polishing the code, it made our site speed dramatically increase as well. So those 3 things is all it took for us to reduce our load time from 16 seconds down to 1.87 seconds. Okay, and right down here you see a chart, excuse me, that shows you in the first 30 days what we were looking at. Okay, we had $34,000 in sales, we had $23,000 in net gain. Over the next 30 days after we had finished these optimizations to the site speed, nothing else had been done, just site speed, our gain was $117,000 gross and a $78,000 net gain. So site speed and optimization and performance immediately translates into more money in your pocket. Okay, it's a direct translation. So don't ignore it. Okay, and don't believe that the theme you're using is as optimized as it can be. Okay. Principle number 6 is automated browser and buyer recovery is key to maximum return on investment. Okay, this is big. This is important. Okay, automated browser and buyer recovery is key to maximum return on investment. Now, according to the experts, 30 to 60% of your abandonment is recoverable. Last year, the value of abandoned carts on global e-commerce was $4 trillion. Okay? And to put that into perspective, that's 20 million Ferraris or 2.9 million ginormous yachts. Okay? Pretty crazy. Now, $4 trillion is a lot of money every year to be losing to abandoned carts. And again, according to the experts, between 30 and 60% of that is recoverable. We currently are recovering anywhere between 40 to say 52 to 3% of our carts on various stores. It just depends on the store, okay? But so 30 to 60% is 100% accurate. The easiest type of automated recovery to use is email recovery. You set it up once, you have your emails, they go out automatically. It's a 3-part email series usually, and it's automatic. The best 2 and our favorite 2 cart abandonment apps are Klaviyo, which we use Klaviyo for basically all of our email marketing, which also does abandonment. But Klaviyo is more expensive, and if you just want an email abandonment option, CartHook is also an exceptional email abandonment option that you guys can use. Now, automated recovery campaigns are dollar for dollar the best marketing that you can invest in. Okay, what you're seeing here is some various different types of automated recovery campaigns from our Klaviyo account. Okay, now the reasons the ones that are red and highlighted, those are the actual abandonment and recovery campaigns. You see that all of them are dramatically higher than the regular emails that we send out. Okay, so our browse abandonment, these are people who are browsing and leaving, is worth $8 per recipient, okay, of an email. That's per email sent. That's not per person, okay? Also, our customer win back is worth $1.15. That's the lowest dollar one, but that's for a customer that's on its way out and we want them to come back because they haven't bought in a long time. Then we have our regular abandoned cart. It's worth $2.89 an email. And then we have our high value abandoned cart, which on this site is the people who spend over $180. And they're worth $13.30 per abandoned cart or per email sent. Okay? And these are automated. We set the email up once and it goes out like clockwork. This is dollar for dollar the best marketing that you can put into place. And it will also save your butt if you're not an expert at Facebook ads. or you're not really great at your targeting, because it's going to give you second and third chances to bring these people back into your world, into your store, and get them to buy. Okay. So this is critical. Okay. And it's automated. We set these up one time and the numbers just keep getting better and better and better and better. Okay. This was, I think, about a 7-day window here. So in 7 days, the high value cart abandon had recovered $7,900, almost 8. So if we go 8, 12, 16, 16,500, 17,000-ish dollars in 7 days of recovered revenue, that was lost money. And we brought it back. So it's basically as good as found money, right? Free money by simply doing this, okay? Can't beat this dead horse enough. This is critical, all right? And this is the recovery campaigns. Now, applying these 6 principles to your Shopify store will make buying traffic easier. It will skyrocket your profits, and it will allow you to keep more of your income where it belongs, which is in your pocket, okay? That's what I want. I want it in your pocket, okay? I don't want you giving it out and losing it all on ads and stuff like that. You need to make money. What's the point of being in business if you don't make money, right? Now, the problem is that modifying, tweaking, and optimizing your store on your own can be a major pain in the ass, right? Especially if you don't have a team. And especially if you are new to this whole optimization thing, right? Because it's kind of different, right? Now, this actually brings me to another important point that I need to make. The real secret to successfully implementing these 6 principles correctly into your business is to work with someone who can not only help you through the process, but more importantly, someone who is the absolute best at doing this stuff. That is why our clients win so big, because they work with the very, very best. And ideally, you want to work with someone who's the best at optimizing stores. I mean, why settle for less, right? Now, guys, look, everything that we've talked about, from the store structure to building the product pages to dialing in the site speed and optimizing the cart, it's all simple, right? Well, one of the great things about Build, Grow, Scale is that we've made it very, very, very simple to succeed at e-commerce. But it's not easy. It's simple, but not easy. I want to make that really clear, that all the results that I'm sharing with you, these are extraordinary stores and people, in a sense that they did work their asses off, right? They worked their butts off. They fought through the tears, they fought through the frustration, and they've done everything they could possibly do to get this outcome and following our system. I don't want you to think that, oh, well, I'm going to watch Tanner's webinar and I'm going to go out there and optimize my store and out pops a $100,000 e-commerce business. Just like that, right? Well, no, guys, it doesn't work that way. You've got to be willing to do the work. You've got to be willing to work your ass off. It's simple. Sure, of course, it's simple. I can make the process simple and I can teach it to you in a simple way, but it's still not easy without help. I hope you can see that. Now, executing each of these principles correctly takes a hell of a lot of hard work. Guys, look, our $100,000 a month clients, they're really smart, and they didn't try to do it alone. They worked with us to help them get there, okay? Now look, I know there's a lot of coaches out there. There's a lot of business gurus out there that teach some kind of e-commerce stuff, right? So how do you know the difference between a coach that's worth hiring and someone that isn't? What makes a great mentor? With so many coaches out there, how do you know who's good and who to trust? Well, let me give you 6 standards that have served me very well in telling the difference between who's got the real stuff and who doesn't. Here's the 6 standards. First of all, is the person getting amazing results in their business? Right? I mean, that should go without saying. It doesn't make sense to work with anybody who isn't getting some kind of amazing outcome for themselves, right? The second standard is, are they getting those outcomes doing what they teach? This is really, really important, because sometimes you'll have people that teach branding, dropshipping, or something like that, but that's not the actual way they make their money. So are they using this stuff that they're going to teach you? Is that how they're making their money? That's the second thing you need to look at. The third thing you need to look at is, are their clients getting results? Because a lot of great people out there are naturally gifted, naturally talented, but they can't translate what they do to somebody else. So it's very important to know that the mentor you choose and that their clients are getting the results. Now, are they transparent? This is the fourth thing you need to know. Are they transparent and they don't beat around the bush? You've got to have somebody who's just going to lay it out there and tell you exactly how it is, how it needs to be, even if you don't necessarily want to hear it. Now, do they try to sugarcoat things? Do they try to spin a story, or do they just tell you how it is? That's what you want in a mentor. And number 5 is that you have to have a step-by-step system for fast results. They have to have that for you. Do they have something that you can follow? Is it duplicatable? Is it overly complex? Are they able to back up what they are teaching you with real data that shows what they're teaching has been tested and proven? Be wary, guys. A lot of these guys out here are theory-based instructors. They've never actually done anything that they're teaching you. And finally, do they provide real support and accountability? Now, there's lots of courses out there that you can buy. And of course, in most cases, you buy a course and that's it. They leave you hanging. It's all up to you. And there's nothing else to help you once you've bought the course. I mean, it's really tough to succeed when you're left out on your own like that, right? Now, in terms of support, Build, Grow, Scale, we have 10 plus live training calls and Q&A sessions every single month for our clients. And our entire optimization staff, including developers, are active in our community for our students on a daily basis. Name somebody else that can do that or that does that, right? The bottom line here, guys, is don't try to do this at home. I've been doing e-commerce since 2001. I've spent millions upon millions of dollars on products, advertising, testing, tweaking, optimizing. And I've fallen into every trap, fallen flat on my face more times than I can count, and I've done every single thing wrong that you can do wrong to figure out what actually works. Now, if you want to build and optimize a business the right way, meaning that you build a business that can put ever-increasing amounts of money into your pocket each and every month, then I want you to find a mentor that meets those 6 standards that I just shared with you. I want you to spend what it takes to work with them. Now, it doesn't have to be me, okay? But find somebody who can help you do this stuff, because if you try to do it on your own, you're going to go broke. I promise you that. It's way too hard to go this alone. Now, Matt Schmidt, when Matt joined, he was selling apparel on Teespring, and he was looking to build a real business that would last. He chose to work with BGS to help him do that. Now, he dove into our training and implemented the system into his business that we just showed you. He is now making millions of dollars a year, sometimes millions of dollars a month. In fact, his last $1 million month was over 1.5 million. And Matt is often one of my guest instructors at Build, Grow, Scale events. Now, guys, what I hope you realize here is that this is exactly what you need to win. You need optimized store structure, optimized product pages, optimized mobile usage and checkout, optimized speed and performance, and a dialed-in recovery system. Then finally, I want you guys to go out there and I want you to work with the very best to help you implement these 6 principles correctly. Don't try this at home. Don't be one of those fools that thinks, oh, I can do this on my own. I watched one webinar. Trust me, the learning curve is too steep. It's like walking across a minefield. Guys, if I'm going to walk across a minefield, believe me, I'm going to hire someone who's walked across that minefield before and can show me where all the little traps are and show me exactly how to get where I want to go without blowing up, right? This is the blueprint that our clients are following to get to $100,000 a month and beyond. It's just those 6 things. It really is that simple. But like I said, it's not easy, but it is this simple, okay? And when you get all 6 principles of this system working together, this is what can happen. What you're seeing right here is over a 90-day window, this store has done $3.4 million, meaning that it makes over $1 million per month. The average order value is $60, meaning we can afford to buy plenty of traffic for this store. And the only thing going down in this entire screenshot is the repeat customer rate. And the only reason that happened is because the owners accidentally turned off their automated email marketing flows in Klaviyo and they didn't realize it. Talk about a big oopsie, right? And again, guys, this is not to brag, but rather just to put it into perspective what can happen when you do it right. Here's another smaller store in the apparel niche that's grown to over $400,000 per month after implementing what we teach. And here's one that shows 4th quarter holiday sales, right? These are the best sales of the year. The crazy thing is that this men's gadget store had, up until September, when they started working with us, only done $300,000 over the entire year. And now they just did $2.1 million in 3 months. Talk about finishing the year out strong, right? Now, here's another store that started implementing the 6 principles on their store in September. Look at the hockey stick growth that occurred after that. Boom, it skyrockets, right? This is what happens when you follow the 6 principles, implement them into your business, and let it grow. Now, here's one of my favorite stories. This is Sanez's story. So when Sanez started working with us, she's awesome. She lives in Southern California. She was using Shopify Capital, which is a loan program, to try to keep her dog store afloat, right? She was using these loans to help keep her store going. Every penny she could scrape together was being dumped into Facebook ads, and it was kind of working, but not enough to ever stop relying on the loans. Now, we immediately helped her implement those 6 principles that I just showed you into her store, and literally overnight, her Facebook ads started working, and her profits started to grow. And she has continued to optimize her store following what we show her. And 9 months after she started working with us, Sanez had her first $2 million month. And what you see right here in this picture is a picture of Sanez with myself in the gray suit and Matt Stafford, my business partner, in the blue suit, presenting her with her 7-figure award at our award show at our big conference that we host every year. So here she is, 9 months after starting with us, receiving a 7-figure award, and she just recently had her first $2 million month. It's crazy what can happen when you do this, right? Now, guys, you have a choice. You've been on other webinars before. I can guarantee it. I know you have, right? Because I have too. Now, you can either treat this webinar like you did so many of those others. You can just forget about everything I've told you. You can go back to living your life. You can go back to struggling to hit your goals. And you can go back to just thinking, oh yeah, I'll just keep buying traffic like always, and this stuff will all work itself out. Or if you really want to build a $20,000 a month business, a $50,000 a month business, or more, and if you really want to start generating the income that you want, building a business that you and your family can rely on, and one that allows you to live life on your terms rather than having your business dictate how well you can live, and if you want to start doing that today instead of 2 years from now, then here's what I have for you. My team and I have set aside some time to speak to you personally about how you can apply these principles to your store starting today. In other words, what does your store currently need? What is the outcome you're trying to achieve? How do you need to structure your store, your cart, your pages for maximum conversion with your audience? I'm sure you have questions, so we're going to get on the phone with you privately, and we're going to work through some of those things based on what you and your store need. Whatever your biggest challenges are, I can promise you this: we've seen it, and we know exactly how to overcome it because we've done it hundreds of times before. Now, whether you're having trouble with advertising or finding the right products or figuring out why you're losing money or figuring out what optimizations you should be using, guys, this is what we do, and we'll help you with it on the call. All we do, guys, is help people figure this stuff out and put these 6 principles together to build an amazingly profitable, sustainable e-commerce business. It's what we do 365 days a year. And we can start that process for you today for free. Here's how it works. You book a time to speak with us, and we'll get on the phone for about 45 minutes or so. On that session, we're going to work with you to craft a step-by-step game plan together to hit your income goals for the year using the 6 principles that you just learned about. Now, whether that's $10,000 a month or whether you want to get to $200,000 a month and you want to structure a business that meets your needs, we're going to help you figure it out. Now, what are we going to charge for this? Nothing. The cost is absolutely free. We'll get on the phone and we will work together for about 45 minutes, maybe a little longer, depends on how long the call goes, right? And we'll figure out your exact goals and a game plan to hit them. Now, here's who this is for, right? Because while I'm saying it's free, it's clearly still not for everybody, right? So please pay attention to this. Number 1, you must already have an e-commerce business or be ready, able, and committed to starting one. If you are just thinking that, oh, hey, e-commerce might be fun, then this is not for you. You must be a person of integrity who is coachable and takes action to make things happen. If you like to sell crappy products or do business in an unethical way, then I can assure you that you and I will not be a good fit working together. You also must be an action taker who gets things done and doesn't quit. This is not for people who like to sit on the sidelines and let life pass them by. The war cry of our students is GSD, which stands for Get Shit Done. So if that's not you, then this call is not for you. You must already be making money in your business that you can work with, okay? Or you have the ability to invest in your business. Ecom is a real business, guys, and real businesses cost money to start, operate, and grow. If you can't currently afford to invest in your business, then this is also not for you at this time. So you've got to have a business or be serious about starting one. You must have integrity, be an action taker, and you must be able to spend money on your business. If that's you, then I want you to book a session to talk with us right now. We'll walk you through exactly how we do what we do and how to apply these exact principles to your business. Here's a couple pictures of a few of our students, some of our private trainings and events. And really, guys, the proof is in the pudding here. We've been doing this for years. It works. We have students. We have success stories. And this system has never failed to work for anybody who actually puts it into action. But the trick is that it's not going to do the work for you. It's not magic. It's simple, but it's still not magic, right? Although it is about as close as you can get to magic. We had 32 of our students this last year build 7-figure stores. You're seeing a picture of the award show after we had printed each of them with their own $1 Million Club award. This year, we plan on doubling that number. And you could be one of the people that we help earn that $1 Million award. I mean, someone's got to get the award, right? So why not you? The reason we do this is because we love giving back and helping ecom people achieve their goals. We absolutely love and totally geek out on e-commerce. And that's why we love working with ecompreneurs. We love helping you guys achieve your goals. And you know what? We know that once we go through this stuff with you on the phone and we help you create your plan of attack, you may very well want our help to transform your e-commerce business. And if that's what you want, then of course we can discuss it and see if it's a good fit for both of us. And if it's not, then hey, that's fine too. No worries. So here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to go to buildgrowscale.com/book call. That's buildgrowscale.com/book call. Now on that page, you're going to see a link to our calendar and all the available appointment times. Just pick whatever appointment time works for you. Grab it. You'll be taken to a very, very short questionnaire. Just fill that out, and either me or someone from my team will call you at the exact time that you chose. We'll work together for about 45 minutes, and I promise you that it will be the best 45 minutes that you have ever spent working on your business. The stuff that we take you through, the processes that we take you through on that call, is the kind of thing that other people are trying to charge hundreds or thousands of dollars for up front. We're going to get the ball rolling with you absolutely for free. So go to buildgrowscale.com/book call. Now look, guys, I've walked you through the exact game plan that we use to get our clients to $100,000 or more per month. Now, I don't care if that's your goal, or if your goal is to do $1 million a month, or maybe it's just to get your store to do maybe just $10,000 a month. That doesn't matter. Whatever it is, the game plan is the same. The 6 principles are the same, and the steps you need to take are the same. You just need to know how all of this applies to you. What is your outcome? What site structure do you need? What are your low-hanging fruit optimizations that will put money in your pocket the fastest? Now, all of this is the stuff that we're going to go over and get into on the call. So go to buildgrowscale.com/book call and grab a time to chat with us now. And just to be real, spaces are limited, and the available spots on the calendar are filling up fast, because this is a very in-demand offer. I mean, hey, we're going to get on the phone with you and help you personally. So don't wait. Book your call now. Go to buildgrowscale.com/book call. Choose your appointment time, and we are more than happy to help you get started down this journey. If you meet the criteria that we talked about before, that you've got to have an e-commerce business or be in the process of starting one, you must have integrity, you must be an action taker, and you must be able to spend money on your business. Well, if that's you and you've got questions, then just go to buildgrowscale.com/book call. We'll answer all of your questions and help you map out a solid game plan for your store.